Madara has declared war on the nations of the world as Naruto becomes Hokage in the wake of Pain's invasion of Konoha. Naruto has to master the Kyuubi to prepare to face him and the Akatsuki, which includes his former friend, Sasuke Uchiha. Okay, I'm back permanently this time. If you missed me, or if you didn't, you should smash that like button and comment welcome back or something. You better stay. It would be much appreciated. This fanfic that we're going to do is called War of the Biju, Tale of the Fourth Shinobi World War, and it is by Sun Kenshin. Let's get into it. Prologue. Akatsuki has just dealt a devastating blow to Konoha, completely destroying its economy and military infrastructure. The leader of Akatsuki, Pain, was defeated by Naruto, the Jinchuriki of Kyuubi no Yoko, who confronted the man behind Pain, Nagato, and convinced him to change his ways. Nagato trusted the future to Naruto and revived everyone he had killed in Konoha before he died from lack of chakra. Naruto is now returning to his home village after confronting Nagato. I'm curious, did he die of chakra exhaustion? Cause I'm not sure. If you guys do know, I'm sure a lot of you guys are very educated on Naruto. Let me know what he died of. Because I thought he died because of the jutsu he used to revive everyone, but I'm not sure. I may be completely wrong. Let me know. Chapter 1. The 6th Hokage is Konoha, Hokage Monument. Naruto breathed in and out as he walked through the forests towards Konoha. He was mentally and physically exhausted after the 2 battles he waged this day. If it wasn't for his father, the Yandame Hokage Namikaze Minato, he could have unleashed the Kyuubi fully in an attempt to defeat Pain. He could still remember Hinata laying on the ground in a pool of blood, and he closed his eyes, hoping that she was okay. Putting his hand against the bark of a tree, he began breathing in and out, settling himself before walking forward again. His confrontation with Nagato himself was one of the toughest challenges he had ever went through, and he wanted to kill Nagato so badly. He was literally shaking when facing him, but he couldn't do it. It wouldn't have been what Jiraiya would have wanted. Naruto had done the impossible and managed to change Nagato's mind. Now, Nagato had entrusted the future to him. He had to find a way to bring peace to the world, even for a short time. Erosen's book can change the world, but how? I need to find answers, Naruto thought, setting his hand on another tree. The first thing I have to do is become Hokage. Thinking of Sasuke, he closed his eyes. This is more important than you, Sasuke, though someday I will bring you back. Nearly tripping, he found himself being caught and he blinked to see Kakashi and Hinata there, steadying him. Kakashi-sensei? Hinata? When Katsuyu-sama informed us that you had beaten Pain and had finished confronting the person behind Pain. She also told us you were exhausted, so I let Hinata here lead me to you, Kakashi said with his smiley eye. Naruto, you did good. Hinata's breath was caught in her throat as she looked at Naruto, who gave her an exhausted smile. Won't be the only thing caught in her throat. I'm glad you're alright, Hinata. Hinata blushed and she forced herself to stay conscious. Thank you, Naruto. Thank God you're okay. I'm not doing the stutter thing, okay? I don't know. Naruto smiled and Kakashi carried him the rest of the way as Hinata walked next to them. Getting through the rest of the forest, Naruto's eyes widened to see the entirety of Konoha gathered, waiting for him. Welcome back, Naruto. We believed in you. You're a hero, Naruto. Welcome home. Thank you. Naruto blinked as the villagers showered praise and thanks onto their new hero. They've all been waiting for you, Naruto. Kakashi thought about what Naruto said when they first met. My dream is to become greater than the Hokages. I'll make everyone acknowledge my existence. He let his student down, smiling. Naruto, you did magnificently. Welcome home, the crowd said again, running over to Naruto, Kakashi, and Hinata, and they began patting him on the back and congratulating him. I told him everything that happened, Katsuya said, poking out of Naruto's collar. Quickly, Naruto was swamped by the villagers who were cheering him on. What's he like? Is he hurt? Oh, don't shove me, Naruto said, and everyone continued to swamp him. On top of Gamakichi's head stood Fukusaka and Shima, who were watching Naruto with pride. Sakura slowly made her way to Naruto as Hinata wiped her eye as a single tear of joy trickled down. Sakura, Naruto said as his best friend came over. Cap. Always so reckless, dummy, Sakura yelled, slamming her fist into the sage's stomach, making him wheeze. And she wonders why people don't like her. Then she hugged them, surprising the rest of the crowd. Naruto, thank you. Everyone smiled at that, and Sakura looked at Hinata, letting Naruto go, and she walked over to the other young woman and nudged her slightly in the sage's direction. The Higa heiress stumbled, and out of reflex Naruto caught her, and the two blinked, and the crowd began clapping and cheering. Hinata, you risked your life to save me, and contributed to his victory, Sakura thought. To save him, my bad, not me, Sakura thought, smiling as she stood next to her sensei. Naruto and Hinata blinked and Iruka smiled, reflecting on his former student's past. The sad, lonely boy who just wanted to be acknowledged as a great ninja had now achieved that goal. Naruto began to be tossed in the air and caught by the crowd, and he began laughing and cheering. Iruka adjusted his headband, smiling. On the outskirts, Zetsu looked at the scene in shock. I never thought Pain would be defeated. We better go tell Madara. He won't be happy. With that, he sunk into the tree branch he was spying on the village on. In the crowd of villagers, an Anbu landed behind Nara Shikaku, the head of the Jonin of Konoha. He was standing next to his old teammates, watching as the rest of the villagers celebrated Naruto's return. What is it? Emergency meeting. You're to report to the council room immediately. Already, huh? Shikaku asked with a sigh, closing his eyes. Akatsuki hideout, unknown location. Standing in front of the still summoned Gero Mazo statue, Zetsu was telling Madara of Pain's defeat. The true Akatsuki leader squeezed his hand into a tight fist. He closed his permanently activated Sharingan eye as Zetsu finished. So, that's what happened. What are you gonna do now? Oh, and Konoha's not coming back. We need to find another person to sync with the Gero Mazo, Madara said, composing himself. Kisame, you track down the Hachibi. I have another matter to attend to. Konoha. After the initial celebration died down, the citizens of Konoha started rebuilding. Akatsuki could crush their buildings, but it could not put out their will of fire. Tents were set up on the former battleground to house the people of the village, while parties would go out to search for suitable building material in the debris. In one of the medical tents, Tsunade was resting. Her youthful appearance had faded. Sakura and Shizune were healing her, doing chakra transfusions, while Naruto and Kakashi stood by. We were lucky she didn't die, Sakura said, her hands glowing green as she began to pump her own chakra into Tsunade's body. And we're lucky she'll recover. How long will it take for her to wake up, Sakura? Asked Naruto, as his teammate lifted her hands off the Hokage's chest. I'm not sure. Could be anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. And Konoha is at a crucial juncture. We need her to wake up, Sakura said, doing some more seals and pressing her hands down over Tsunade's chest, healing, soothing, green chakra pumping back into her sensei's system. Kakashi nodded. A temporary Hokage will have to be appointed in her place then. Shikaku has been summoned by the daimyo for that very reason, Kakashi, Shizune said, replacing the dishcloth that was in Tsunade's forehead with a fresh one. I think you're gonna be appointed. Kakashi blinked. Me? But I'd be terrible at the job. He then patted Naruto's back. Naruto's more than ready. I believe in him. Naruto blinked, his jaw lowered. Are you serious, sensei? Yeah, Kakashi said, looking at his former student. Let's face it, you're stronger than me, and you were able to beat Pain, and negotiate with the man beyond Pain, which led to everyone who Pain killed being revived. Naruto nodded, breathing out. But I'm a great ninja, yeah, but I don't know if I'm ready yet. Not many leaders are, Naruto, Kakashi said with a smile, but they have leadership thrust upon them. The sage blinked at his sensei's vote of confidence and he smiled, rubbing the back of his head. Thanks, sensei. Fire Country Capital. In the capital building of the Fire Country, the leaders of Konoha as well as the leaders of Fire Country had gathered. At the head was the daimyo, the lord of the Fire Country, and one of the most powerful leaders on the continent. For Konoha's leaders, there were the three elders, Mitokado Hamura, Utatane Koharu, and Shimaru Danzo, as well as the Anbu general and head jonin Nara Shikaku. We will continue to work with the other countries to deal with the Akatsuki threat, Hamura began, folding his hands in front of him. After what's happened to the village, the Fire Country will put every resource into getting it rebuilt, the Minister of Treasury stated. First, we'll have to come up with a budget, and then consider the strain on the other nations. There's something else to consider first, Danzo stated, looking at the people gathered. He was keeping his eye in reserve. Who will be the next Hokage? It is coming to that. Danzo, you're going to make your move, aren't you? Shikaku thought. Can we not wait till Tsunade has recovered? According to the reports of her student, she should be better in a few weeks. The daimyo, Lord Takusei Ayasu, whatever, suggested. My lord, Tsunade is partially responsible for the village's construction, Koharu said, and Shikaku sighed. She is not, Koharu. Pain was going to destroy the village anyway. He had to preserve his secret with which our men had found out, Shikaku said, interrupting Koharu's tirade. And if there's anyone who should fill in for Tsunade, I have two recommendations. And they are, Shikaku? Ayasu asked. Hatake Kakashi, the copy ninja, and former apprentice to the 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze, or Uzumaki Naruto, apprentice to the late Jiraiya, and the boy who saved the village from pain, Shikaku said, while folding his hands. Ayasu was intrigued. Both seemed fine choices. However, isn't Naruto still a teenager? Yes, but he has much experience fighting Akatsuki, having encountered them several times, Shikaku replied, and I think it should be obvious who his father is now as well. He is Minato's very son. That was the clincher for the daimyo, and Danzo decided it was best not to use his trump card now. The boy's inexperience will lead Konoha into ruin. I will be there to pick up the pieces, Danzo thought, and he opened his eyes. I agree with Shikaku's assessment. Naruto is a fine choice, Danzo said. Then it's decided. The Rokudaime Hokage will be Uzumaki Naruto, Ayasu said, folding his fan up. Rokudaime means 6th, by the way, if you did not know. Let's go to chapter 2. Chapter 2. Naruto's Hokage. The 5 Kage Summit commences. Konoha. While the heads of Konoha were at the fire capital deciding the next Hokage, and nearly 2 days had passed. All around, the village reconstruction was happening. Tenzo, also known as Yamato, was using his Mokuton to construct new houses, 2 at a time. Other ninja like Genmao, Aoba, and Raido were sifting through debris for usable lumber for standard reconstruction. Word had already been sent to the surrounding allied countries to send their best carpenters, their best architects, and building supplies to the village. Wave Country and Wind Country were the first to respond, their people entering Konoha through what remained of the east and south entrances. Among the carpenters from Wave Country were Inari, Tazuna, Naruto's, Sakura's, and Kakashi's old friends. Team Kakashi itself was helping with the reconstruction as best as they could, and were helped a lot by Hinata. Naruto could use his clones to put up the skeleton of a structure. Hinata would use her Byakugan to tell the clones and the sage where to keep things still, and Sakura would use her strength to press nails in to secure the structure. Kakashi would then begin to fill the skeleton out with Naruto's help. The walls were put up on said building and secured by Sakura. Finally, after a few hours, the building was done on the outside. All that had to be done was the plumbing and wiring. The group took their seats near some lumber for a little break. Naruto wiped his forehead, looking at the new building they had constructed with a little pride. Like his father, the young Hokage had said, Konoha could be rebuilt. His thoughts wandered on the warning Minato had given him, the man with the mask, Uchiha Madara, known as Tobi to him. He remembered how he couldn't land a blow on Tobi when they encountered him before Sasuke's latest disappearance after his battle with Itachi. He just phased right through him. No damage whatsoever. His father thought he'd be able to get the power to bypass it using the QB. He just didn't know how. To defeat the man, you must have a special power, Naruto. Minato had told him, and Naruto closed his eyes. He took a seat and he stretched. Naruto? He looked up to see Hinata walking over to him. Hey Hinata, thanks for the help here. Those eyes of yours are pretty sweet, he said with a grin. Hinata blushed and she fought down a stammer. Thank you, Naruto. How are you doing? Naruto breathed out. Better than I was before. Thanks, Hinata. And thanks for trying to save my life. You're welcome, Hinata said, slowly taking a seat next to him. You're the village hero now. You've got the recognition that you've always wanted. Naruto smiled. Yeah, I have. He leaned forward. But things aren't done yet. Konoha has to be rebuilt, and the Akatsuki has to be defeated. But with Pain dead, Naruto, shouldn't Akatsuki mostly be defeated? Hinata asked them, and Naruto closed his eyes. No, not even close. I don't know how many Biju they've taken, but it has to be most of them. Not only that, Pain wasn't the real leader. He was the front guy. Naruto breathed out. I wanted to tell Granny, but she's still unconscious after sacrificing most of her chakra to save the villagers. Like, shouldn't this type of conversation be like in a more secure area? Like, I feel like this is the Akatsuki is like, any information on them is like S-class information. They're just out here on some logs speaking about it. Like, seriously? I don't know, maybe that's just me. Hinata nodded slowly and Naruto looked at her. Did you mean what you said? Hinata blinked. What? You said that you loved me before you attacked Pain. Did you mean it? Hinata blushed and she fidgeted a bit before she breathed out. I meant every word, Naruto. I've loved you ever since I first saw you training, way back when we were kids. I feel like I'm gonna cringe, but you know, I'm gonna power through this for you guys. Maybe the romance is good. I don't know. I don't personally like Hinata ships, but let's see. She waited for his response, and he smiled. Thanks for telling me, Hinata. I don't know how I feel about it just yet, but, he leaned back, I'll figure it out. I promise to give you an answer soon. Take as long as you need, Naruto, Hinata said, smiling back at him. Oi, Naruto, a new voice said, and Naruto looked up to see the old man with a gray beard and hair and a boy with black hair coming over. Gray hair. I don't know why it says bird. Anyways, both were wearing carpenter's uniforms. Old man Tazuna? Naruto asked, blinking. Yup, Tazuna replied, and the boy grinned. Wait, Inari? Why have you gotten tall for a kid your age? Naruto said with a grin, and Inari smirked. I bet I'm taller than you when you were 12. Huh, I was short back then. I don't deny that, Naruto said with a grin, rubbing the back of his head. Whoa, who's this girl with you, Naruto? She's really pretty. Is she your girlfriend? Inari asked, making both Naruto and Hinata blush. I always thought you'd get together with that Sakura girl, but I guess she got together with Sasuke, huh? At the mention of Sasuke, Naruto looked down. Sasuke's not in Konoha anymore. What? Inari and Tazuna asked. It's a long story, guys, Naruto replied, breathing out. And I doubt he'll want to come back. He's gonna make a Orochimaru not so family friendly joke, but no. We were kinda hoping to see him with you, Sakura and Kakashi, Tazuna said, rubbing the back of his head. Guess things change over the years, huh? Naruto nodded. Yeah, things change a lot. Well, can we catch up later, Naruto? Inari asked, and he smirked. Bet you have a bunch of stories. Yeah, I think I do, Naruto said with a grin, as he and Hinata noticed something. It was Kiba riding Akamaru over. Guys! Kiba yelled, dashing over. The elders are back! Shikaku is back! Naruto blinked. They are? Why do you... Naruto, the daimyos made you the new Hokage, Kiba said, skidding to a halt in front of them, and Naruto and Hinata blinked, and then their jaws dropped. What? Naruto asked, blinking as Kakashi and Sakura dashed over, hearing that announcement. Daimyo-sama, he's made you the new Hokage in Tsunade's absence, Kiba told him, breathing in and out. I didn't believe it either, but Shikaku gave me something to give you. Here, Kiba handed Naruto a scroll, with the daimyo's official seal on it. His eyes widened and he opened it. I, Usagi Tokusei, name Uzumaki Naruto as the Rokudaime Hokage of Konoha. Depending on his performance, he may keep the position if Tsunade awakens. I don't know why I did that in a Orochimaru / white girl voice, but you know, it happens. Below it was the daimyo's signature, and Naruto breathed out and he fell on his rear. He read the message multiple times, letting it sink in. He wiped his forehead and he looked at Hinata, then Kakashi, then Sakura, and then Inari and Tazuna. Guys, I'm really Hokage, he whispered, breathing out. I'm Hokage. That's... Oh god, Sakura said, breathing out, and Naruto stood up before falling back. A happy smile was now on his face. I'm Hokage, he repeated, almost cheering. Gaara! I finally caught up! Outskirts of Konoha. The Kumo envoy, which consisted of the student of Killer Bee, the 8-tailed Jinchuriki, were walking towards Konoha after a long journey, where thanks to Karui's no sense of direction had gotten them lost many times. But now, Thanks to Samui, team leader, they had finally gotten on track. Omoi gave a sigh, taking his lollipop out of his mouth. What should I do? Huh? Kari asked, looking over to him. Oh, I was wondering what I should do, Omoi said, putting his finger to his cheek. If there are a ton of cute girls in Konoha, and they all fall for me. No, I'm not doing that. Oh yeah, 'cause that's a problem, Kari said sarcastically. Why don't you just date them all then? Go out with whoever asks first. Yeah, but what should I do when I have to leave Konoha? She says she loves me so much that she can't bear to be apart. I'm so scared she might want us to toaster bath together. Romeo and Juliet style. Oh, I can't say that. We're back. How far are you planning out these scenarios? Kari asked in exasperation. We haven't even gotten to Konoha yet. You're freaking me out. Some guy who looks really hot might come on to you too, Omoi pointed out. Just use the word hottie. Anyway, now that you mention it, Kari said, rubbing her face and blushing slightly. Some rich, tall, popular hottie might come on to me. You never know. Pause. Okay. Alright. Nah, you're just overthinking things. It'll never happen, Omoi told her, scoffing at the thought. Kari got angry, picked up a rock. Who are you talking to? Omoi bent his entire body to dodge a rock, and the rock went into a tree. What if the rock had hit a boulder, and the boulder crumbled, and then pieces of the boulder caused another boulder to crumble, and caused a huge avalanche to bury Konoha? You're the one who's overthinking things, Kari roared at him. Shortly, they are on the wall of Konoha, looking down at the massive crater that your mother caused when she fell down. No, okay, I'm sorry. The wind whistled around them, and the color on Kari's face drained. No way, I didn't do it on purpose. Did the little pebble really cause all this damage? Kari cried out, tears flowing from her nervous face. Kari, what have you done? Don't be ridiculous. Let's go find out what happened, Samui ordered them. Konoha. Naruto was getting fitted for his robes, breathing in and out nervously. He couldn't believe he was Hokage. Just 2 days ago, he had saved the village from pain and was a genin. And now, he was Hokage until Tsunade awakens. There's no shortcuts to becoming Hokage. It's just a straight path from getting to it. Kakashi watched his student be fitted for the robes, swelling with pride. His student, the #1 unpredictable ninja, Uzumaki Naruto, had been named Hokage. He wondered if this is what Jiraiya had felt when Minato became Hokage. Hokage-sama, a voice said, and Naruto turned to see Shizune there. We have visitors. Visitors? Naruto asked, blinking as a tall, well-developed blonde woman wearing a black t-shirt that exposed her midriff as well as her well-developedness as well as a short skirt walked in. On her forehead was a Kuma headband. There's a lot. There's gonna be a lot more on her face soon. Like dust. Dust. Because she will be helping in the rebuilding, maybe. Yes, you can. My name is Samui A. Sama. The Yondim Hokage has called for a summit for the Kages in Iron Country to deal with the Akatsuki problem, the woman said, handing him a letter. Recently, the Akatsuki member Uchiha Sasuke captured Eight-sama's brother, Jinchuriki of the eight-tailed ox, Killer Bee. Naruto seemed to freeze, as well as Kakashi. Excuse me, can you repeat that? Uchiha Sasuke has joined the Akatsuki, Samui said, looking at the young Hokage. That has to be impossible. Why would Sasuke join them? Naruto whispered, breathing out, forcing himself to stand. He grabbed the letter to be sure. Thank you. I'll get ready to go right away. Samui nodded, and she bowed respectfully to the new Hokage, and she left the room. Sorry, I lost where I was. Naruto's hand shook as he held the letter, and he closed his eyes. He now knew that Sasuke would never be able to return to Konoha. He was not only a missing nin, but a member of the Akatsuki, and he had taken a Jinchuriki. Naruto, Kakashi whispered, walking over to the student. I'm fine, sensei, Naruto said, breathing out. I have to get ready for the summit. I'd like you to be one of my bodyguards. Yes, sir, Kakashi said, nodding. Naruto breathed in, putting his Hokage hat on. I wonder if this is what Ero Sennin felt when Orochimaru defected. Fire Country. Sasuke was leading his team, Taka, towards Konoha. That's where I'm gonna end it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please smash that subscribe button and like the video. I would really appreciate that. Stay tuned for more high quality daily what ifs. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.